we're going to go over just the class changes. So for Barbarian, well, before we start, Grim, did you have anything to state?
Hello.
Okay.
Not really.
Barbarian, bonus damage granted while berserking is active is now multiplicative instead of additive. Uh,
Should we put a definition of what multiplicative means up there for
multiplicative means diminishing returns. Additive means add that shit together.
Okay.
So multiplicative, if you have 20 plus 20, you get 36. If you additive, if you have 20 plus 20, you get 40.
Yes, I'm well
Yes.
aware.
So multiplicative and additive. Multiplicative means diminishing returns. Skills, Enhance Bash. Fortify is now based off of max life. Upheaval damage has been increased 0.7 to 0.77. Furious Upheaval bonus damage per stack is increased from 5 to 12. Number of stacks is reduced from 10 to 6. So less stacks, more damage. Strategic Rallying Cry Fortified has been based off max life. Strategic Iron Skin based off max life. Mighty War Cry based off max life. Wrath of the Berserker max damage is now 100% times 100% bonus damage. Enhanced Rupture, additional functionality. This damage is increased by 10% for each 50 strength you have. Warrior's Rupture, attack speed increased from 30 to 40%. Fighter's Rupture, healing increased from 18 to 22% max life. Passives, Endless Fury. Fury gained increased from 5, 10, 15 to 7, 14, 21. Imposing Presence, max life has been increased from 5, 10, 15 to 6, 12, 18%. There's a lot of this stuff, so I'm going to try and move fast here. Martial Vigor, damage reduction against elites increased from 369 to 4812. Thick Skin is based off of max life, from base life to max life. Paragon, Decimator. I'm just going to read off the new stuff. Each time you make an enemy vulnerable, your damage is increased by 10% for 5 seconds. Overpowering a vulnerable enemy grants an additional 10%, so you get 20% instead of 10. That was something they talked about today. Bonebreaker, every 12 seconds your next skill is guaranteed to overpower. Flawless Technique, duration is increased from 2 to 4 seconds. Critical Strike max is increased from 5 to 8%. Carnage, attack speed max is increased from 8 to 16%. Warbringer, fortifies, increased from 12 to 15% max life. Weapons Master, swapping weapons grants you 4% of your max fury. Hemorrhage, your bleeding damage is increased by 15% of the total amount of your damage to vulnerable enemies. Blood Rage, additional functionality, your damage dealt is increased by 25% of the total amount of your damage while berserking bonus. Let's see, Legendary Aspect of Ancestral Force. New Hammer of the Ancient quakes outward and its damage is increased by 5 to 15%. Earth Striker's Aspect. Weapon swap requirement for overpower attack has been reduced from 10 to 8. And adjusted functionality, overpower proc now happens on your next non-basic attack. Unique items. Ramaladni's Magnus Opus, I guess that's how you say it, Magnum Opus. Damage to vulnerable enemies FX replaced with Max Fury at 150% of normal value. Damage per Fury increased from 0.1 to 0.3 to 0.2 to 0.4%. Azure Wrath, non-physical damage affix increased by 120%. Hellhammer, critical strike affix replaced with bonus ranks of upheaval. Damage to burning enemies affix increased by 150%. Ancient's Oath, damage to slowed enemies affix replaced with damage to close enemies. The unique power has been adjusted. The new Steel Grasp launches 2 additional chains Enemies that have been pulled by Steel Grasp take 30 to 50% bonus damage for you for 3 seconds. Overkill. Critical strike chance against injured enemies. Affix replaced with ranks of Death Blow. Fields of Crimson. Bonus ranks of Rupture. Affix replaced with Rupture cooldown. With Rupture cooldown reduction at 200% normal value. Battle Trance. Bonus ranks of Frenzy Affix increased by 100%. Damage reduction while injured. Affix replaced with bonus Max Fury. 100,000 Steps. Dexterity Affix increased by 100%. Damage with skills that swap to new weapons Affix increased by 50%. Cooldown for free Ground Stomp reduced from 30 to 15 seconds. Rage of Horrorgath. Damage reduction from bleeding enemies Affix increased by 15%. And Gore's Devastating Grips. Non-physical damage Affix replaced with damage. Attack speed Affix replaced with critical strike chance against close enemies. Alright, and that's the Barbarian.